Yeah, it's not Cyrus. At this rate, if he's not coming out next week, then I don't know when he's coming out anymore. Xanta is a hunter that can deal some light damage, but his light damage move suck, so therefore Xanta will only use his bow move and Hagen. Hagen works similar to Hanet Linde, as in if the enemy switch to dagger, then Hagen will hit dagger, and if the enemy switch to fan, then Hagen will hit fan. Although because Hagen isn't really that powerful of a potency, you will only really use Hagen for when you want to help break the enemy shield if they are not weak to bow. Xanta has a 5-hit bow move, which is a good shield breaker because it hit 5 times, and it's also a nuke because it hit for a total of 275 power. Although because this move is so expensive though, you might want to use Encaging Shot as your nuking option when the enemy's in break because it only costs 32 SP compared to the 70 SP that the 5-hit move cost. Xanta also has a light AoE, but his magic stat isn't high and the potency of it isn't high anymore, so in case you need it, he have it. You don't need it most of the time though. Xanta first passive make Hagen hit harder just in case you use Hagen to hit the enemy weakness. Xanta's second passive is the main reason why he is a very strong bow DPS. It's a 30% up to his weapon type. And this passive is strong, okay? It's only strong and it's rare on a non-scholar. There's only 3 units in the entire game that are not a scholar who has an unconditional 30% damage up to the weapon, which is Oberich, Xanta, and Yanlong. So if Xanta, who already has a nuke up to 75, has his passive, then that means his bow is gonna hit very hard. Okay, so if I had to explain why Xanta is strong, he hit really hard, he can wreck shield also really hard with 5 hits, and he can exploit up to 4 weakness total. That's basically all he does. His only big weakness is that he only excel at single target. Anytime when there's multiple enemy, this guy suck because his single target skill are random target, which means you can't even aim what you aim at, and he does not have any bow AoE skill at all for some reason. So this guy only excel at single target, okay? Right now in EN, Xanta is the best bow unit DPS in the game, and you're not gonna get a better one until a while, okay? Surprisingly, this guy suck at the Vulcan Cup because Vulcan himself is not weak to bow, and the ads are weak to bow, but it's not single target, so he cannot even aim where he hit at. Outside of Vulcan Cup, he is really good basically everywhere where the enemy is weak to a bow. Use Xanta, they dead. In the land of the rising sun, this guy is surprisingly the second best bow DPS in the game still, losing to only a certain witch named Herminia. And the main reason why he hasn't been power creep yet is simply because he hit really hard, he can shield break really good, and he has a passive that supports his own bow damage. That's enough to last you for a long time before you get power creep. Let's compare the mentor and the student. One has Hagen, the other one has Linde. Both of them has a 230 power bow nuke. The difference between these two is the ultimate move. Xanta focuses on single target, which is why the potency of that move is so high. Hanet on the other hand can hit all the enemy, but in exchange for that, her potency of her AoE Aerostorm is not as strong as Xanta. One of the differences here is that Xanta is slightly slow for a hunter. Compared to the other hunter like Scarecrow or Hanet, he can act later in the turn, which is either a good thing or bad thing, but probably a bad thing because you cannot use him as the initial character for the turn to break the enemy shield for your other archer to attack the enemy. And lastly, Xanta has a 30% up bow damage, and I want to emphasize on this a lot because it's a lot, okay? It's not just a tiny damage, that's a lot of damage difference. To those people that say I have Hanet or Scarecrow already, I will not pull for Xanta, then you must know that the damage of your Hanet and Scarecrow isn't that high then. So, if you want someone that can deal a lot of big damage and also good at shield breaking, get Xanta, okay? The guy is strong, like he's on Odette's level of strong. Just imagine him as like Odette but for Hunter, and I think you guys know by now how hard Odette hit. And plus, he is one of the 2 units that come out that is still considered top tier in Japan, which is Odette and Xanta. Although I'll consider Primrose too, but recently she power creep herself, so no counting that.